Not really. It felt very realistic because we had such a small crew, and it was like we were doing it for the first time, even though it was, many takes. It was just like a little family there for a few weeks, and it was very easy to get to that place.
Yeah, I think so. And also all the actors that, all the actors who played all the roles came to the project fully prepared and with wonderful ideas, and they were very much in the moment. It's wonderful as an actor if you get a chance to work with other actors who are working in the moment, rather than thinking about it or acting, so to speak. And that really helps. So, and James helped foster that and nurture that environment.
How much did you think this nightmare changes your character's vision of life? Or
I know for my character, I was grateful at the end. It changed everything about our relationship, which you don't see too much about a relationship, but the hints that you do get, you root for them in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the same. I think that it's a distorted morality tale, in that the antagonist in this film is someone who wants to torture people to make them appreciate life. And it works.
It really works.
On a very strange metaphorical level, it works.
So, Monica, you said you wanted to work on a thriller. Did you? Okay, so you went really far. I mean, it's a very intense thriller.
This is a very intense thriller. I had no idea it would be this intense after seeing the film. Because I grew up with films like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, but this is something that could actually really happen if you think about it in a way. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
So I was really lucky to be a part of it.
And Cary, I would like to know, your character starts very strong in solving situations.
Yeah.
And little by little, he's deteriorating.
Yes.
Tell us about the process of deteriorating and how did you accomplish that?
Well, initially, there wasn't much of that in the script, and so I discussed that with James, and I thought it would be nice for the arc for the character to start out being someone who was something of a patriarchal character to
Adam.
To Adam, exactly. And slowly through the process of being tortured, and finding out that his wife and child have been kidnapped, that he starts to lose the plot a little. And that was kind of fun to see, to work on that arc and have the rug pulled out from beneath his character.
Yeah, you really did an amazing job with that. I'm serious. It was like, wow.
You helped a great deal. I had this Polaroid that Monica...
that sounds bad.
No, seriously, it was a Polaroid of Monica and the little girl who plays my daughter, and they took a picture of her, and I kept that with me for the whole shoot in my pocket. And the look of pure terror on her face was not something that was a performance. It was there on the Polaroid. And so when it came to shoot the scenes where I had to be filled with remorse or filled with pain, I just took that Polaroid out and looked at her and my little girl, and it really took me right there.
It's funny, not funny, but it keeps the audience there, not because the suspect changes in people's minds. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's Detective Tab, and then
right.
So that kept the whole thing very. Do you like that aspect of the story? That
yeah, it's a real ensemble piece. I mean, all the characters are very involving. They're not one-dimensional in any way. You start to root for all these characters because they're all flawed in some way, except for Monica, of course.
Oh, no. Maybe she's a big drunkard.
But they're all going through their own personal, dealing with their own personal demons in some way. And, and I thought the piece was so well written in that respect. I mean, it was a real ensemble piece,
It's a good time for a thriller. It's October,
right.
But it's not what people expect. It's not like Friday the 13th. It's something
right.
else.
I love the way he cut it. To me, the way he cut the movie, and even if you look at the trailer, it seems like he cut it with a slasher knife, even though with the sound effects and everything.
That's the way it feels.
It feels like you're being cut.
You really, in each situation that the characters are in, every single person, you feel like you are that person. And how are you going to get out of this?
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, it's very scary. It's a nail biter.